Okay. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's see. Who all was in here first? We had Seeker, No Name in both chats. Paul, hi Romeo, Ryu, Erie. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Let me click on that over there. Perfect. Just getting everything started. There's always that brief moment of silence while I get everything started and going. And then hello, Shannon and Morgan. Welcome in, y'all. I know I'm a minute or two early. We're just, no, I'm not battling anybody on TikTok. TikTok does weird stuff. Okay. And we're going. Hey, Moose. I'm doing good. Sounding so much better. Hey, Joey. And I'm going to wait for a moment to update TikTok on stuff. Okay. Cool. Cool beans, guys. Topic is right up there. That's what makes it easy. I am actually considering changing the prompt probably next week. Hey, Michael. No need to spam. Oh yeah, voice sounding so much better. It's definitely evening out. I think after this weekend I'll definitely be back to sounding normal instead of sounding a little nasally ish because, laryngitis. Hey Leith. Uh so Leith, if it's you want to come up on the panel, we can do that at the end of the live. And I say this because when we start off with a friendly in the box at the very beginning, it does tend to kind of unalive the algorithm. The job report, gotta love it. But Leith, you're welcome to leave it in the comments if that's what you want. Yeah, next week I think I have an interesting prompt to try out and see what it do. Well, Matt, it's because it's the same people. It's never going to be his until it's wiped completely clean of anybody that worked there prior. Oh, okay, got it, Leith. No worries. Yes, of course. Thank you. I sound so much better, honestly. It's great. It's fantastic. Hey, racers. Okay, let's see. Man, TikTok, y'all tapped your heart out. Thanks, Matt. More people are slowly coming in. I'm gonna keep this kind of brief, guys. Over on TikTok, I have not forgotten about what the contest of August. I actually spent an hour putting together everything, in the spreadsheet. I just have to do separate things because TikTok decided to break during the contest on the subs. So I haven't forgotten about anybody. I'm still actively working on it. It's always the headphones. The headphones come on, after. I don't need them on at the start because I'm just hearing my own voice, which is cool and all, I guess, but not really required. Hi, how old are you?
29. How old are you?
Early 30s. Did you vote for Trump?
Oh, I would have guessed 25, 26.
Okay, thanks. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Okay. Do you still support him?
I don't know. Yeah, I do.
I'm watching Swarovski. What's the main reason that you still support Trump?
Watching what? I'm sorry, I'm watching you. I'm kind of distracted by the whole topic. I think you're very pretty, and those the purple definitely compliments you. So,
Thanks. So what's the main reason that you still support Trump?
just because I'm prideful and I'm standing on my vote.
Yeah, so what has he done to like earn your continual support?
Nothing. I don't think it really matters. Nothing he's done or hasn't done has affected my life. I still wake up every morning. I go do my job and make my money, and I enjoy my life.
Cool. So because you still get to enjoy your life, you don't care that 10 to 17 million American citizens are going to lose access to health care and SNAP benefits?
I do care, but these are things I'll take into consideration next time I vote. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, so who are you voting for in 2026? As far as your like what party are they affiliated with that you're going to vote on for your House of Representatives?
Oh, I'm pretty open. I'm not a diehard Republican.
Do you know who your current representative is by chance?
From rumors, I hear Mr. Little JD Vance will be the primary runner.
JD Vance can't run in 2026 because he's the active
Oh, you're
vice
talking about the
president.
oh, you're talking about the midterms?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you. I apologize. Relax, relax. It's okay. Like I said, you're distracting, so I'm trying to focus as much as I can.
Hey, Hector. Okay,
That's what I'm.
so
Yeah, the midterms.
do you know who
Yeah,
your representative is in Congress?
for the Republican side,
No, just you don't get one of each in Congress. You have one House of Representatives.
right?
Do you know who yours is?
No,
No? Okay.
I'm just being honest. Like,
Well, considering we know how everybody voted in for HR1, the big beautiful bill, I can promise you that your Republican, more than likely, I would assume, representative in Congress voted for the big beautiful bill. So that means that you should not vote for them again in 2026.
yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I got no problem with that.
Cool.
Make things better. You know what I mean? Because I do think it's messed up how things are going. Like you said, taking away SNAP benefits, this, that, and the other. Although, if I listen to the other side and the information they give out, I'm sure they can explain and validate why they are being taken away. So,
Oh, yeah. So here I'll tell you what it is. So the Republican Party believes that under the suspicion that one person might be cheating the system or have falsified records, the other 99 out of the 100 deserve to lose their health insurance to find one person.
yeah, that's not cool. We waste, if that's a waste, right? It'd be considered a quote unquote waste. We waste money all the time. So, why does that bother?
Well, that's
Get,
what their
get
logic
what I'm saying?
is. And our statistics and our data show that less than 3% of all, like, less than 3% of Medicaid is actual fraud. And the majority of that 3% is all provider fraud.
Did you ever vote Republican?
I have before. 1 second. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Awesome.
He's
How old are
drunk.
you?
I'm 30 years old. How about yourself?
30. What year were you? Sorry. Did you vote for Trump?
Of course I
You
did.
still support him?
Who'd you vote for?
Do you still support Trump?
Of course I do. Why would I not support him?
Gotcha. All right, low over on the TikTok side. I'm gonna drop you down.
Hold
Thanks,
on, hold on.
man.
Let me say.
Nope, I get the final word. All right, sorry. That was interesting. Okay, caller. What is the main
Right.
reason that you still support Trump?
Well, the main reason I still support Trump is he understands the difference between a man and a woman. And I like my presidents having common sense. I like my presidents understanding science and
Comment?
how the real world
Well,
works.
science disagrees with you already.
What science disagrees with me? Psychology?
Oh, no, like medical science,
Medical
neurologists.
science talks about gender.
Neurologists. Are you
Neurology
familiar with
talks about
neurology?
gender?
What is
What part of the
neurology?
brain dictates what gender you are?
Yeah, can you? Oh, so you do know what neurology? Neurology is the study of the brain.
Yeah,
Got
and I'm
it.
asking you a follow-up
Fantastic. So,
question.
are you aware that neurologists have
Hold
actually
on,
studied the
hold.
brain? No, this
You're
actually
going
goes
too.
straight
You're
into your.
going too
This goes
fast. You're
straight
going
into
too
it for
fast.
you. I'm sorry if
Go
you're
ahead.
unable to keep up.
Go ahead.
So, neurologists have done side-by-side studies of individuals that identify as transgender. The individual is a part of that community, comparing them with what is considered the people that have been assigned male or assigned female at birth, and they have found neurologists have found that the brain mapping studies show that trans women and trans men match on the level with the gender that they identify with the individuals that were assigned that sex at birth. So yeah,
So you're assigned a sex. Are you also assigned a gender?
neurologists are the people that study this shit. I'm so glad you have looked
Right.
anything up.
Right. So you said you're assigned a sex. Can you change your sex?
Would be gender reassignment surgery, yeah.
So you think you could change your sex? That's what you think?
Gender reassignment surgery.
Yeah. Well, you're
Yeah.
saying gender. Don't you know there's a difference between sex and gender?
Yes, that's
Aren't
why
you
it's called
supposed to be
gender
teaching me this?
reassignment
Yeah. So
surgery.
when I
Maybe you
asked
don't
you if
understand
you
this.
could change your sex, why'd you bring up
I
gender
already answered
reassignment?
your question. I
So
gave you the name of
you
what
think
the
you could
surgery
change your
is.
sex?
I
You
just
think you
gave you the
could?
name of what the surgery or the procedure
Well,
is
so once
called.
again, do you
I
understand
gave
there's a
you.
distinction between sex and gender?
Doesn't
Aren't
sound
you
like you
supposed to be
do.
teaching me this?
Doesn't
I
sound
thought
like
you
you
were the
do.
educated one on the topic.
Oh, I am. I obviously am because you
So
seem to
you
have an.
understand there's a difference between
Okay.
sex and gender, right? So
You
again, I'll
seem
ask
to
you
have a
question.
common misunderstanding of me giving you the name of what the procedure is called and then
So a
trying to
gender
use that to
reassignment
use
changes your
like
sex? Is that what you're
I
asserting?
enjoy you trying to straw man something because you don't understand what I said.
It's
So
not a straw man.
it is actually. You're trying to
I'm
break it down to
clarifying what you
something
said.
extremely simple. No, it's
So
it's
go
the name
ahead,
of the
answer the question.
procedure.
Can
It's
you
the name of the
change your sex?
procedure.
Yes.
I've already
Okay,
given you
so
my answer. I'm
no,
sorry
you
if you
didn't.
weren't
It's a yes
listening.
or no question, and you're
I've
saying
literally
an
have already
unrelated
given you my
procedure.
answer. I'm sorry that you have a failure of listening.
Okay. So I'm gonna
I've already
rephrase
given
my
you my
question.
answer.
Does the gender reassignment surgery change your sex?
It can change aspects of your outward appearance of sex. Yes.
Is that what sex
Congratulations.
is? Your outward appearance?
Yes, it is,
Is that what
sir.
sex is? Oh, so
Sex is your
not
outward
about
appearance of your genitalia. Does that help? Sex is the outward appearance of your genitalia. Does that help you?
Is that what you think sex is?
That's how you're assigned to sex at birth, sir.
So
It's the outward appearance of your genitalia.
It's not the way that your body functions fundamentally. It has nothing to do with that. It's just if you have a penis, you're a boy. If you have a vagina, you're a girl.
Incorrect. That's male and female, and then there are people that have they have ambiguous.
Chromosomes have
They
nothing
have
to do with
ambiguous.
the-
Oh, have you? Sorry, no. I'm actually going to continue on with this. So there are individuals that have ambiguous genitalia, which means that they can't tell which one is which, or that they might have all parts, and so those are individuals are considered intersex. So right from the start, we already know that there is more than two genders or more than two sexes because we already recognize with science, right, with the study of science and everything, and people that study anatomy and all of that good jazz, we already know that there are at least three. So I mean, I still don't understand unless you can provide me with your karyotype test. Are you able to provide me with your karyotyping?
So if my penis gets cut off,
Are you okay? You're not okay.
No.
If you want to mutilate yourself, do it on your own time. People are so dumb. No, he definitely did not know what karyotyping was. I love how individuals don't understand that I'm giving you the name of a procedure. It's not my fault that they named it that. Cry harder. Complain to the people that apparently you don't believe in science from, the people that study this stuff. Sip tea, Blue. I'm going to sip some water. So water is how we get through the day. It's always stuff that you need. Hey, Brad, I'm not staying on that topic. If you want to come up, you can confirm in the comments that you're going to use a different topic of conversation, but I'm not staying on that. If you're unable to do that, then that's a you problem, not a me problem. Well, then unmute him, please. Hi, everyone. Wow, did that whole conversation shut up all the Trumpers? Because they're not calling in? Wow. Did I actually scare them away for once? Dang. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Hi, kid. Go play outside, man. Okay, well, can always test it for a second. Oh, well, he's left. Are you doing a different topic, or are you trying to stay on the one that I'm done with?
No, I was going to dog walk you on that topic, so...
Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but... Have a good one, man.
I was going to dog walk you, but it's all good.
No.
Take care.
Yeah, go away.
All right.
Shoo shoo. You've never dog walked anyone in your life. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Oh, hi, I'm not a Trumper. I just want to say I love what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here stroking my big cock.
That's disgusting. Do it in your own time. Oh, thank you, Jabari. Thanks, Giselle, for the makeup brush. I don't know what that is. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hello?
Kid, go play outside. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm an old guy. I'm in my mid-40s.
All right, cool. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
I do.
All right. What's the main reason that you still support Trump?
I support Trump. Well, I don't know. I think he's great for the country, and he makes me laugh a lot.
Okay, so just thoughts and vibes?
Yeah, I mean, I think he does a lot of great things. I've known Trump's history from way back in the 80s, what he's done. He's done a lot of great things for a lot of people.
Thank you, Dawn. No, so when I ask why are you still supporting Trump, I'm referring to like now. So I guess I need to start quantifying this for people.
Oh, so
It's currently
Have you heard
September
about- have you-
5th, 2025. We are almost a full 7 months into, or sorry, almost a full 8 months into his administration.
you heard about all
Within
the-
what he's currently
heard about all
done,
the-
why is
Have
it
you
that
heard
you're
about the-
still supporting Trump with what he's currently
Oh.
done 7 months in office?
Yeah, well, have you heard about all the hostages he's brought back to America? Have you heard about all the peace deals he's created in the world?
There are no peace deals.
There are none?
Thank you. Another one. Yeah, no. So I know people don't realize this, but Rwanda and the Congo are still actively going at it. There is no peace deal. What they signed, what Armenia and Azerbaijan signed in the office was, or sorry, on TV, was a known blank piece of paper. I know because people didn't listen when one of the representatives says, "Is there a draft that we can sign?" And they're like, "Oh," and Trump was like, "Oh no, we don't have anything here for you to sign." And they're like, "Okay, well, I want to sign something." So they literally handed him a blank piece of paper to sign as a show. And the officials still say even today that it's not signed because Armenia was demanding that Azerbaijan, sorry, no, the opposite. Azerbaijan was demanding that Armenia change their constitution before they would sign a peace deal. So there's no peace deal there. India denies vehemently that Donald Trump had anything to do with their own individual peace agreement with Pakistan, and that Pakistan is just trying to get in their good graces, and they've insulted the Prime Minister of India gravely. When it comes to Thailand and Cambodia, Thailand said 3 days before their peace, like their actual arrangement that they did with Malaysia, by the way, Malaysia is the one that sat in on it, said outwardly they wanted no assistance from the United States government and outwardly denied Donald Trump trying to stick his hand in it. There is no peace deal with Ukraine or Russia. There is no peace deal with Gaza and Israel. So remind me, what are the other three that I've missed in some way?
Let me ask you this.
Oh, you have nothing to say to all of that. Got it.
No, because it's all BS. Everything you just said, BS.
Everything is just, oh, so what you're telling me is you didn't watch the live television interview with the representatives. So what you're telling me is that you didn't watch the live interview with the representatives from Armenia and Azerbaijan. So you didn't know, and you completely missed the fact that they signed a blank piece of paper because it doesn't go along with your narrative. You missed the fact that Rwanda is still actively attacking the Congo and vice versa, that 153 people died just 2 weeks ago. So got it.
You don't listen.
Are you okay? You're just repeating yourself now. I understand that you're not okay because you're not able to. So what you're doing right now is you're trying to like distract me. So you're just actively repeating yourself, and repeating yourself, not even asking me any questions. You're just being like, you don't listen, you don't listen, you don't listen, you don't listen. It's very odd that you're just having that specific crash out because you're incapable of actively participating in the conversation or refuting anything that I just told you. So unless you're going to actually combat anything that I just told you about 4 of the 7 peace deals that were proposed that never actually happened, I'm going to hang up on you. Are you able to actually? Okay.
Trying to talk, you don't listen.
You could have answered the entire time that you were spamming yourself of saying you don't listen, you don't listen, you don't listen when I asked you to respond. And then you tried to pivot because you couldn't address anything that I just said. Bro, bye. I don't know who Caitlin Bennett is, Giselle. But Caitlin is welcome to call in. Oh, what was... Oh, you know what? Yeah, I remember what I was going to say. Exactly. Hey, nice to see you again. I will end the Ukraine war on day 1. I will lower gas and egg prices. All lies. Never happened. Thank you for the 20. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you? Hi.
45.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Unfortunately, I did.
Sounds like you no longer support him.
Well, you know, when you have false hope, he claimed he's going to stop wars, and, you know, for me, that was the only reason I would vote for him, and I'm regretting that vote, unfortunately, because he hasn't stopped any wars.
Nope.
And he's doing everything in his, you know, power to make America horrible. So, you know, these people that are defending him, they're either fascists, Zionists, or just mental. And I don't know how you can defend them.
It's just about, well, there's okay. I'm not going to do it, but there's a word for that. it starts with the letter C and ends with a T, but where I'm not going to go into that. But there's
Well,
there's
at
a
least,
whole thing about that, you know.
yeah, I mean, I'll admit, I voted for him as the last hope to stop war, you know, to stop the innocent people dying and all over the world, especially in Palestine. And he said 24 hours, wars are going to stop. And,
Yep.
you know, what is he doing? Sending billions of dollars and encouraging them
To
to continue
continue.
murdering people.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
it's
used
terrible.
American bombs when they bombed the hospital. Not once, but twice. They did a 2-strike, just like all of the other terrorist groups that we know and hate in the United States of America did to the United States.
Yeah, it's sad. I hope people wake up. You know, people are waking up. You know, they're definitely. You see the conservative talk show hosts turning against them, and people leaving MAGA all the time. It's a joke, MAGA. It's 100% a joke. He said exactly what people wanted to hear, and essentially is making himself and his buddies all rich, well, at the cost of the rest of the country.
Thank you, Blaze. I see that you were able to become a member. I appreciate that. I agree with you, man. Well, what I'm going to suggest is try to limit his power over Congress in the next election. So, vote against the Republicans if you can.
100%. We'll be doing that, and
All
I
right.
encourage everybody else to do that.
Well, I hope you have a good evening, man.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. There are some. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
You know that Trump is Jewish, right?
I asked you one question. That's not the answer to the question, and he never says he's a Jewish. He literally said, "I'm a Christian." Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, listen to me. You're an ugly bitch.
Kids, go outside and play. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Knock, knock. No? That's cool. I can. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
Awesome. Am I on speakerphone? No, it went away.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 30 years old. How about yourself?
30. Did you vote for Trump?
Of course I did. Who else would I vote for? Kamala?
Are you a serious person?
Of course I'm serious. Ask me anything.
Nah. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, shit. I thought I went to the next call.
You failed that one.
Yeah, that's all right. Did it right that time. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Total nigger death, white power.
Wow. That's something special. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, you're a lesbian. Come on here.
Kids, go outside. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 55.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I support him.
Did you vote for him?
No, I didn't.
Did you vote at all?
I don't vote for anybody.
All right. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Oh, thanks, guys.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Fucking nigger.
I'm white. Oh, you're talking about the likes. Like, there are other people you can call and yell at if that's what, you want to show your hate. But fucking wild shit. yell it at me. I'm the cute little white girl. Don't you guys just love me or something? I'm being totally facetious here. Dang, what is going on? There are a lot of weirdos out there, that's true. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I am here.
Can you get closer to your phone?
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
How about now?
That's better. Okay, did you vote for Trump?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you still support him?
Yes, I do.
What's the main reason you still support Trump?
I think mainly just out of respect. I live in America. He's the president of the most powerful country that I live in.
Okay. You can respect the office and still you can still have an issue with what the office is doing. We saw that very clearly under the Biden administration. There's nothing in there that says that you have to respect the United States president, the sitting president, and the actions that he's taken. So like me personally, I can't respect somebody that thinks that they can utilize our military armed forces against our citizens.
I understand, and I guess, I mean, to even further prove the point, it was the same thing as well. I respect.
You are breaking up,
As my
sir.
president, oh, sorry. To further prove my point, I respected Biden as well because he was my president. So that's just kind of, that's my stance. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I would imagine that there are certain actions that people should be able to lose the respect of office over. So, like, I don't know, hiding or telling everybody, regardless of the fact that women went out on public television and spoke their truth, that the whole thing is a hoax when we're coming to the Jeff E. files. Sorry, TikTok is sensitive. And he keeps calling it a hoax, regardless of the fact that women came out and spoke their truth. Right? It's still a hoax, though. It's still a Democratic hoax. Right? Just forget about it. Why are we still talking about it? Right? Absolute hoax. Okay? Doesn't respect the United States citizens in this country, where he lied to all of the Social Security recipients and told them that there is no tax on Social Security, when there are still individuals that are being taxed on Social Security when they make over $34,000 a year from Social Security. That's not being respectful to the American people. I would imagine that I could give respect to a president that actually respects the American people, but he doesn't. There has got to be a line where you lose respect for somebody. Otherwise, you get walked over.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in office. I mean, I don't think we know all of the details either. You know, I know the investigative journalists do the best that they can to report facts. And to everything that you just affirmed, I'm sure there's an answer. You know, his political party. I'm sure there's reasoning and why these things have happened. But I still think that Trump's doing good for the country. That he's trying to the best that he can.
How is stripping 10 to 17 million individuals off of health care and SNAP EBT benefits beneficial to this country?
I mean, the way I understand it is he's trying to get people. So it affects the people, or there's now a standard. You have to work a certain amount of hours to qualify now.
Yeah.
If you're just going to not
I don't know if
work,
I think people forget that in order to qualify for SNAP EBT, you already have to have a job. Somebody has to work in order to qualify for SNAP. So what we know already, and because this has already been attempted in multiple states, right? This was attempted in Arkansas. This was attempted in Georgia, where they implemented this work requirement. Do you know what we saw in Arkansas?
not exactly, no.
92% of the individuals that were kicked off their health care, the Medicaid, due to a clerical error or missed form or a missed line, basically dotting an I and crossing a T. 92% of them were already meeting the work requirement, but they had to wait 6 months before they could apply for Medicaid again. So they were still without health insurance for 6 months, even though they already met the requirements in order for the work requirements. So that's exactly, like, if we put that on a massive scale, that's exactly where we're basing these estimates off of 10 to 17 million individuals losing their health care, because they don't just lose it for one moment. They lose it for 6 months. They can't reapply again for 6 months. And a lot can happen to anyone in a 6-month period. And then that's exactly, like, do you understand, like, what the number one cause of, the leading cause of bankruptcies are in this country?
Divorce?
Medical debt.
Oh, medical debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're literally going after the most vulnerable individuals in this country. So what, we can see our bankruptcies increase even more?
This wasn't happening to able-bodied people, though. I mean, human beings can work. They can find a way. I mean, we had to at the beginning of this country, especially, you know, after the Civil War. I mean, we lived, you know, it's even better now. Everything's improved now. Technology. I mean, imagine the people back then when these programs didn't exist.
Yeah, what's your solution to individuals that can't stand for longer than 20 minutes at a time, so they can't work a normal retail job or go out and volunteer at certain areas? But they're not wheelchair bound. They still have the ability to walk, but they can't stand for long periods of time. And 20 minutes isn't long for a lot of people, but it is long for them because they have a debilitating condition where they have debilitating pain that come up when they stand for that amount of time. What's your solution for them? Do you now consider them not to be able-bodied because they can't stand for 20 minutes?
To answer your question, I've been through plenty of checkout cashiers where they're sitting on chairs. That would be a solution.
Okay. So you think that sitting down is the solution. Do you realize that individuals that also are unable to stand for 20 minutes at a time, they are also not able to sit comfortably in one position for a long period of time either? Typically, the only position that is comfortable for them is laying down flat in a bed.
I think human beings need to work.
Human beings need to work.
Especially Americans.
How are people going to get hired when DEIA is taken away, especially these disabled individuals? Do you know what, are you aware that the original acronym, the acronym that's actually listed in the executive order is DEIA? And do you know what the A stands for?
I don't know what the A stands for.
Accessibility. Something that would actually, you know, help these individuals that you're talking about.
Yeah, but I think
you have a very privileged outlook on life.
I might.
Oh no, you do. You do.
I mean, that's just, we all have our beliefs.
No,
right?
sir. To come up here and say, I think that people need to work, right? That humans, especially American humans, need to work. Like, it's a requirement somehow that we work in order to what we have to work to live now, according to you? Is that what it is?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's a, are you religious?
I mean, yeah, I am.
So you believe in God? Are you Christian?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah, I'm going to help you out with something. Let's be very clear. What did Jesus say about those that were needy? Did he say that people needed to work when they were going hungry? Is that what Jesus told them? You need to get a job when you're hungry?
Jesus also said...
No. Answer my question directly. It's a simple yes or no. Is that what Jesus said when he came across hungry individuals? Did he say, you need to get a job and work? You need to work in order to live. Is that what Jesus said?
That's not going to be in the Bible verbatim. So...
Or anything along that lines. Did he imply that they needed to work in order to be able to get food? Or did he say, give me your poor and needy and feed them?
Well, there's moral law, there's ceremonial law. I mean,
Do you like Charlie Kirk?
I think. Yes,
You
I
must
do know
like,
Charlie
yeah,
Kirk.
exactly.
Not
Yeah,
not
that's
personally.
exactly what it is. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going off of, Blaze, is CBO estimated that 10 million people would lose insurance due to the big, beautiful bill tax bills, Medicaid cuts, seniors, the disabled, mothers with children with profound challenges stripped of their benefits. You know, the people that are supposed to be pushing out babies because I don't know, we have a declining birth rate in this country, and so we need employees in order, you know, like we're losing people. There are more people retiring than new individuals going into the workforce. Do you
Yes.
know how I clocked you on that Charlie Kirk shit?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was that whole the different laws that exist in the Bible. There's not three separate laws that exist in the Bible. What you're talking about, if you actually read or believed in the Bible, you would just be talking about biblical law and the differences between the Mosaic law and then the laws that formed after. While still realizing that the Mosaic laws are never have been abandoned, they still exist. Jesus himself said that they are timeless and they will not end past him. He came on earth to fulfill the laws, not to abolish them. That is specifically what he says in those verses.
Correct.
Right. So there is no ceremonial law. That's your church law. Your church that is misinterpreting the Bible. Your church that is purposely cherry picking parts of the Bible in order to fit their narrative. The church, who, by the way, should never say, especially if they are actually God fearing, God loving, love Jesus, whichever one, should never tell individuals that you need to work in order to live. If that's the case, then I hope that every single Catholic church that exists within the United States of America sells off the building and their property and then gives it out to individuals because they're not living by their word of God. And I also hope that you, sir, sell off every single thing that you own in order to actually repent for the deplorable shit that you said that has no bound, that has nothing to do with God or your belief in God. That is a disgusting take. Quite the opposite of what Jesus said, what Yeshua said in the Bible.
Good Lord, woman. Okay, so I mean, how do we meet on common ground?
Oh, I don't meet on common ground that thinks that people need to be forced to work in order just to live and or survive. That is a disgusting take. That is deplorable. There is no common ground with you. There is no common ground with you.
I'm saying in this country, Americans.
Yeah, they don't need to. They do not need to. Oh, they've been given way too much. Yeah, okay. No, sir. They have not been given way too much. When it comes to what we recognize as human rights across the world, we're on the low end of the spectrum to all of the other industrialized nations, right? Out of 33 countries, right, there are 32 that offer universal health care. Do you want to know what the 33rd country is that's industrialized? That's considered a first world country. It's the United States of America, and that's a fucking lie. No, what they do is they do it based off of like what's called a triage system. So those that need the most help, like the most care. So for example, somebody that's being diagnosed with cancer, if they need the most care, then they get to see the specialist first. You can always go into a primary care physician and get looked at for free, for no charge, no copay, no monthly amount coming out of your paycheck, bi-weekly amount, twice monthly amount, or anything like that coming out of your fucking paycheck. It's fucking free. When other people are out here struggling to pay a $5,500 deductible before everything is 100% covered by their insurance company, but they still have to pay a deductible when they walk into the office just to get seen by a doctor. Healthcare is considered human rights. Healthcare is considered a human right, sir. Healthcare is considered a human right, sir. Just so you're aware. So, and I hope you also realize that the United States is actively being investigated by the the international courts, the international bodies, governmenting bodies, for violating human rights. Isn't that funny? Thanks, Scarlett, for subscribing on TikTok.
You kind of lost me there.
Well, that sucks for you. I'm telling you to go back and read your Bible and then maybe actually believe something, because there's nothing in the Bible that says one country shouldn't, their people don't have to work versus another country are required to work just because they happen to be born in this country. That's a fucking crazy take. And honest to goodness, I think you need to go. I don't know if you're Catholic, but if you're Catholic, you need to go and literally ask your priest for forgiveness for the deplorable shit that you just said.
Well, good thing I'm not Catholic.
Just saying. Thanks, Ben, for subscribing. Oh. I'm sorry, that's gross. Hey, Amanda. Oh, it's really bad. Oh, that's a good one, Joey. I need to put that up there. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
I am 46.
Did you vote for Trump?
No, but I want to tell you something.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How old are you?
25.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you still support him?
Yes, I support what he said regarding abortion.
Oh, well, no. So when I say do you still support him, I mean like what he's actively done while he's been president. I'll be very clear with you, and I've been very clear with other people. He hasn't done shit when it comes to abortion in his 7 months in office. So that's a moot point. Do you have anything else that you would like to bring up?
Before you hang up with me.
Nah, I ain't waiting. I also figured that. That's an odd comment. Hey, Twisted. Yeah, the Tubi is doing different things. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
19.
Cool. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you still support him?
Yes, I do.
All right. Give me just 1 second, okay?
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for TikTok. I'm going to mute for a second. Sorry. On the portrait YouTube, I'm going to restart it real quick. Thank you for all the super chats. I'm going to take this down, Brando, and I'll be back in just a moment. There it goes. All right, I appreciate that. What's the main reason that you still support Trump?
Nigger.
You're fucking weird. All right, TikTok mods, you know what to do. Is very typical of them. Oh yeah, they never know how to have a decent argument or anything like that. And TikTok, guys, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that follow button up at the top. I don't know why they're obsessed with being racist. I sincerely do not know. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. How old are you?
Could you hear me?
Yep. How old are you?
Okay, I'm not a Trump supporter. I listen to you every night. I just want to call in and say I enjoy your show. And you really got the nut case coming out tonight. I don't know what, for some reason. But you're really doing a great job. And just keep on doing what you're doing.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I support you live, and I will continue to support it.
I appreciate that. You have a good night, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, what did... Oh, goodness. Elizabeth, thank you for subscribing as well. It looks like we are in a subwave on TikTok. So if we can get 3 more new subs or renewals in the next 14 minutes, we complete the subwave and we go into the dashes. They do. They do. It's wild. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
6'7"?
Is there a meaning to that, by the way?
It's actually a meme because some kid at a basketball game said 6'7", and it just somehow got popular. I really don't know why. Then I just started saying it.
Okay. Interesting.
You're welcome. Anyway, I'm gonna not troll today because I'm tired of this shit. I'm gonna be honest. So you have a good stream. Bye bye.
Cool beans, man. What'd we post? Oh my gosh. I hate when I have all of this stuff going on. Scroll all the way back down. Alright, let's see. Thank you, Moose. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello? Alright, bye. Did you lie again?
Oh, I was gonna say one more thing, guys. Chat. Type 1 if you're gooning.
Oh my goodness. Aw, thanks, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. I don't know what that means. Oh, I think you'll be okay on that side, Parkers. You know that side's the good one. Interesting. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you? Oh, thank you, Twatness. I see that. How old are you?
I'm 14.
All right. Well, please go play a game. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Twatness, for becoming paid subscribers again on TikTok. I know you guys were just renewing. So we just need one more sub. We can't gift subs anymore right now on TikTok while they're figuring out their mess of whatever. And I know, like, guys, I'm not ignoring you, I promise. So you guys are fucking killing it on the likes today. I don't want to. I don't know what a lot of things mean, guys. I'm happily mentally sheltered. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, how old are you?
41.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him? Welcome back, Chris.
Hell no, nigger, nigger, nigger.
Saw that coming. In mine, Chrissy? Oh. Okay. I guess I'll watch that in a minute. That's... I don't get it. Oh, thank you, Pokegurumi, for renewing your sub. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Chris. Well, I mean, listen, guys. Yeah, they always do that. They want to, like, they'll wait a moment, too, before they say something silly. All right, let's see what's in the news right now. Oh, officially, Donald Trump did sign his executive order to rename the Department of War. The directive will make Department of War secondary title and is a way to get around need for congressional approval. Donald Trump signed an executive order on Friday to rebrand the Department of Defense as the Department of War, a callback to the department's original name used from 1789 to 1974. The directive will make the Department of War the secondary title and is a way to get around the need for congressional approval to formally rename a federal agency. See, that's what I was saying, guys. It would require that. Thank you, Dan, for the manifesting. That's so cute. Oh my god. I don't want to read this. I don't want to read this quote. I don't want to read this quote. I do not want to read this quote. The administration... Oh, wait, I gotta test this. Hold on. No way. Ain't no way. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did vote for Trump.
Do you still support him?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Do you still support him?
Yes, I support him still, of course.
Okay.
I mean, it's only been 8 months.
Why do you still support Trump?
So the main reason I support Trump, honestly speaking, is he's a man that sticks to his word. You know, he doesn't deviate from what he said or he's gonna do.
Oh, he doesn't?
And-
So what happened in Alaska on August 15th?
What do you mean? You're talking about the meeting with Vladimir Putin, or?
Yeah. So, like, when he was getting on the plane to Air Force One, he said that there were going to be severe consequences if they don't agree to a ceasefire prior to leaving or at the end of that meeting. And he was going to know within 2 minutes if he was going to get that ceasefire. And there were going to be severe consequences for Russia if not. And then he came out and said,
Yeah.
we're going to skip a ceasefire, go straight for a peace deal, and there are no consequences for Russia. And then he also said after the meeting with Zelensky and the other leaders of NATO and the EU that it was going to be another 2 weeks to figure it out. And, well, within that 2 weeks, Russia bombs an American manufacturing plant within Ukraine, and nothing occurred from that. And the 2-week deadline has passed, and there's been no meeting between Zelensky and Putin, no progress on that front for Zelensky and Putin. So I'm wondering, when am I actually going to see the consequences of Putin not doing anything to come to an agreement past Donald Trump's second deadline that he gave them, just in regards to this
Yeah.
meeting?
Yeah, so
Doesn't sound like he's standing by his word.
I think it's like a negotiating tactic, right?
You can only
I think,
negotiate so much before everybody just laughs in your face and calls you a clown, because you've been saying
Right.
2 weeks since he got his booty butt into office, after every phone call, after every meeting. In fact,
Okay.
what he did was roll back sanctions on Russia instead of implementing more. He rolled them back. He decided to try to punish
Okay,
Ukraine
can I ask a
for being the one, not while I'm actively talking, for being
Can I
the
ask a question?
You just did, thank you. You not while, actively like trying to punish Ukraine while they're the ones that are
Okay.
being attacked and invaded, and their civilian population being murdered by Russia.
Okay, but let me ask. So is the U.S. still supporting Ukraine
In theory.
with weapons and whatnot,
About a theory only.
intelligence and whatnot?
Oh, and intelligence, sure, yeah. Because we saw what happened when
Yeah,
we turned
so-
off our intelligence sharing for
so-
just 5 days, right? Russia launched
I mean-
their largest attack at the time on Kiev and
So-
ended up killing 13 civilians. Yeah.
Right. So the thing is with Trump, because let's be honest,
Right,
this
Moose?
war with Ukraine, I don't
Uh-huh.
think Putin is planning on stopping this war anytime soon.
Oh,
And
wow.
Trump is just trying to negotiate like a peaceful deal to where Russia can take a small part of Ukraine, and then Ukraine can, remain as, its own country without joining NATO.
They've been
Because-
their own country.
and
There was
I don't-
they literally agreed to
and
sign
also-
on. They
and
they
also to-
they started on their
to-
path to join NATO in
Right.
1994. I don't know if you realize
Yeah,
that.
and this goes against like the agreement that the U.S. had with Russia.
Oh,
that
you mean
NATO
with the
would not
former
expand
Soviet
east,
Union?
right?
With Gorbachev,
Well,
right?
it's an agreement.
With
it
Gorbachev,
still
right?
Stands, right?
With
Still
Gorbachev, right?
stands.
With Gorbachev, right?
I mean, just because they had it with a different
Hi.
leader doesn't mean that.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm asking you a direct question. Yeah, that required a yes or no answer. With Gorbachev, where can I find this
Sure.
agreement? Can you direct me where I can find this agreement? I assumed it was signed. Where can I find it?
I mean, whether it's a shake hand or it doesn't matter.
It wasn't
because
signed?
It was an agreement that.
Okay, so where can I find this agreement?
I mean, you can do a quick Google search.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
actually
don't
when I
know
Google it,
exactly
because
where-
I've actually done my research, I can tell that you honestly haven't at this point. When I Google it, I learned that Gorbachev himself came out when Putin used that as an excuse to illegally annex Crimea. And Gorbachev himself said that that's not what the conversation was. That's not what the agreement pertained to. And then we know that also to be true because I guarantee you've never heard of this one. There was an agreement that was actually formally signed between Russia and NATO in 1997. Do you happen to know what that is called?
I mean, what the Berlin? I don't know. I mean, how? I don't know every single agreement that.
Oh, so you're not familiar with it? So you haven't done your research?
I mean, you can tell me what it is, and then I might be
cool.
able
I'll
to
put it up on the
recall
screen. Yeah. So I just want to point this out for everybody. This is directly from the State Department. Okay. It's archived because it's old. Okay. And it's called the NATO-Russia Founding Act.
Okay. And, okay, so can I ask a question?
So, no, I actually want to go ahead and read this with you.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Cool. So this was at the end of the document that Russia signed on to in 1997. Cool. The act has no impact on NATO enlargement. That process is proceeding on schedule. NATO leaders at the Madrid summit in July will extend invitations to the first countries to begin accession talks. Those countries admitted will have the full rights and will have the full rights and responsibilities of alliance membership, and the door to membership will remain open to all emerging European democracies. Very interesting that Russia agreed in 1997 to NATO enlargement. Very specifically, this is at the end of the document.
Yeah,
why did they sign on to something if the NATO wasn't supposed to enlarge?
I mean, that was under a different leadership. And,
but you just said that it doesn't. Hold on. Oh, wait. Different leadership.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what you're telling me is because it was under a different leadership in 1997 from when prior to that Gorbachev was only the president of the USSR. He was never the president of Russia. After the Soviet Union dissolved, he was no longer president. So that means because we don't have to honor the NATO-Russia Founding Act of 1997 because that was under a different leader, then wow, we don't need to honor the Gorbachev agreement that Gorbachev himself said that wasn't correct.
I mean, so you're telling me...
No, I need you to understand your own hypocrisy and admit that you just pretzeled yourself.
I think,
it's very
hypocrite.
It's very hypocritic.
Let's say you're right and I'm a hypocrite, right?
You are. You said, but that's under a different leader, but it doesn't matter if when it was under Gorbachev, if it was a different leader because his name was Gorbachev, that didn't matter if it was a different leader, but in 1997, it's a different leader and that makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the situation.
It just depends on the situation. So when it doesn't fit your narrative, that's when it's okay, and that's when it's not okay.
No. Here, let
because
me
that's the only thing here.
No,
sorry, I just want to be clear that's the only thing here that's actually changed. As far as it just depends on the narrative, or sorry, just depends on the situation. Is it no longer fits your narrative? So therefore, it must be wrong, and different rules apply. Oh, but your narrative was, sorry, let me just rehash. Let me bring this all back to you, right? Is that Russia, there was this agreement in 1991 between Gorbachev and the Secretary of State, not even the Secretary of State, I think it was just the Secretary to NATO representing, the United States, where they had just a handshake agreement talking specifically about the reunification of Germany. That NATO wasn't supposed to move into East Germany until they've all agreed that Germany was going back together as a country. It was very specific to just East Germany. But somehow this gets expanded out to Putin. And so now you're saying that NATO agreed to not expand at all past Germany, according to you. And it's okay for that to happen because it was under Gorbachev in 1991 with the Soviet Union, but because there was there was no signed documentation at that time. But when we have an actual signed document signed with NATO, the organization that you have an issue with, right? Signed with NATO, when it was actually signed by a different president, you have an issue with it.
But I'm not against Ukraine, right? I am not against Ukraine. The issue that I have is that I know for sure that if Russia were to put a base in Canada or Mexico, that the U.S. would not just stand there and let it happen. And I feel like the U.S. getting involved in Ukraine and trying to expand NATO, right? Why should they get involved and cause like all these unnecessary wars?
It's
Why
not an
can't they just
unnecessary war.
let it?
Are you familiar
It
with
is.
the Helsinki Final Act? Helsinki Final Act?
No, I don't know
No,
what
you've
that
never
is.
heard of it before. How about the Partnership for Peace program?
No.
Never
I
heard
mean,
of that
these
one
are
either?
like all
Okay,
terms that,
cool. No, these are all things that exist. These are all agreements that were signed that Russia
yeah.
directly violated when they illegally annexed Crimea in 2014, right? Thank you, Brian, for renewing your subscription on TikTok. And so, like, the United States themselves never attempted to expand NATO, and if that were to be true, Russia would have invaded Latvia, Lithuania, or Estonia prior to them joining NATO. I am sure you've heard of this one because this is something that all of you guys actually always
Okay.
heard of, is the Budapest Memorandum.
Yeah.
So you've heard of that one, right?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Cool.
So, I mean, in your opinion, put yourself in Trump's position. What should he do?
What should he do? Honor
Put
the
more
agreements
sanctions
that
on
were
Russia?
signed. Yeah, he should have put more sanctions on Russia and never rolled them back.
But that would hurt the U.S. economy.
How would sanctions on Russia that we are no longer trading with, no longer been doing business with, and haven't been doing business with them for over 5 years, what would sanctions with Russia or against Russia, how would that hurt the United States economy?
Well, first we use their their gas.
No, we
and not
don't.
only
We have
that,
not
but-
bought any of their oil since 2022. False.
Correct, and that's why the gas prices have been up.
No, that's not why the gas prices have been up. I'm so glad that you think you know something when you don't. Cap, wrong, incorrect.
Yeah, but okay.
Are you from Russia by chance? Ethnically?
No, I'm not. I'm not a Russian. No, I'm not a Russian.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, I'm not for. I think Ukraine deserves to be their own nation. You know.
They are their own nation. They don't deserve to be their own nation. They literally are their
Right.
own nation.
Yeah, and they deserve that. You know.
Right,
And
just
I-
like they didn't
I-
deserve to be invaded or
I
have
don't
parts of
think
their
Trump-
country illegally annexed
I
by
think
a
Trump is,
superpower or a supposed superpower.
I think Biden had Trump in the presidency before Biden. I don't think this war would have taken place.
Can you tell me what color your nose is right now?
I mean, I don't know why that doesn't matter. Why is that?
Can you tell me what color your nose is right now?
I don't understand.
Is it brown or orange?
Is it brown or orange?
Yeah.
Brown. Why?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You have your nose so far up Donald Trump's ass with his talking points. That tracks.
No, I mean you don't have to go that far, but my
Sir,
point
you
is,
do, because if you're reiterating, which, by the way, we have
Okay,
no
okay,
data, no
okay.
evidence, but there is literally no
But
evidence
did
that
you-
would
did
show,
you vote
sir,
for,
calm down.
Biden?
It's okay. Hey, buddy, 1 second. Let me be very clear with you. There is literally no statistical data or evidence or historical data or evidence that we can even look to that says that there is zero chance Putin would have done a full-on invasion in 2022 if Trump was president. There's nothing. So the only thing at that point that you're doing is you're regurgitating Trump talking points and Putin talking points. Isn't that crazy how you're regurgitating bullshit from Russia?
No,
that's
no,
wild to
I'm
me.
not.
You
I'm
are.
not.
Who are the
No,
only people
so
that have said that, sir?
under
The only
Trump-
people that have said that were
Under
Trump and
there was
Putin.
no wars.
There were no wars. There were no wars.
there-
So what you're gonna tell me is that if I look it up, I'm gonna see that the war between Russia and Ukraine was just stopped existing between January 20th, 2017, and January 19th of 2021. Right? It just
literally
stopped
started
existing.
as soon as Biden became president.
No, when did Biden become president?
I mean,
What?
I mean,
No,
you
no.
know
Give me
this
the
better
date.
than
Come
I
on.
know.
Oh yeah, because I fucking know my shit. I'm sorry that you come into something ill-equipped.
I mean, this was in 2020, around January, right?
2020, January 2020,
Correct.
Biden became president.
sure, yeah.
And that's when Russia invaded?
Well, that was in preparation. That's when like Russia started the attacks.
Oh, wait,
right?
they started only in
lining up.
2020?
No, they were in the progression because they knew Biden was going to win. So they were preparing, right, in the time that Biden would be president so they can attack.
Oh, for sure.
Because had Trump and I mean, let's be honest,
in
right?
January 2020.
Under Biden, there was the war in Israel, right? We had the war in
No,
Ukraine.
we're not pivoting away. Okay, we're gonna stick on your January 2020. Biden was president.
Okay. Sure.
Can you do me a favor?
Okay.
Can you open up Google on your phone? Like, put me on speakerphone. Open up Google.
Okay.
Type in who was president January 2020. I'm going to read it out loud for the class.
Are you on with the guests?
Did you find it yet, dude?
Yeah. So.
What does it say for the class?
Well, I actually just realized that the war started in 2014 under Obama.
Yeah.
Right? And
so
you were right in terms
and
of
who was president January 2020?
Well, that's that's when that's when I guess Biden became president, right?
No, I asked you to Google who was president January 2020. Do we need to do a read along with the class? Okay, I guess I can do that for you.
I mean, okay, Trump became president in 2016.
All right, cool.
And
okay.
then ended in January 2020.
Who was president in January 2020? Oh.
I mean, Trump, like I said, Trump had just ended his term.
And you're confident on that?
Yes.
Totally confident.
Yes, of course.
You're gonna hang your hat 100%, 10 toes down. Do you want to bet?
I mean, what do you want to bet on?
I don't know. You can send me, we'll make it easy for you. We'll even make it cheap. You can send me $5 on, sorry, hold on, TikTok. You can send me $5 on either Cash App or Venmo.
Okay.
You good with that?
Here, I just did what you asked me to do. I looked it up on Google, right? It says Donald Trump, a Republican originally from New York who involved his presidency, was elected president of the United States in 2016. He was inaugurated on January 20, 2017. And of course, he ends it in 2021. So it was just a simple, off date, right? But my point is
when you
the war escalated. The war escalated as soon as Biden became president.
Oh, just as soon as. So when did the war escalate exactly?
As soon as he became president.
So it happened February 2021.
Yeah. So the war started
February
under
2021
Obama in 2014.
Yeah.
And then it took a pause around the time that Trump was president. As soon as another Democrat, which is Biden, became president, that's when the war started to escalate.
Okay, so
because Crimea was taken under Obama, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know that. I understand that you didn't know that until 2 minutes ago when you decided to look it up yourself. And
well,
that's
I'm not
cool.
a historian. I'm just.
Neither am I. I just happen to
citizen,
know things. Like,
I'm just talking as a normal, regular
do you want to
citizen,
know?
you know.
And I'm a normal, regular citizen too, dude. I just happen to do research on stuff before I open my mouth to say stupid shit.
Okay. But
Which you
okay,
apparently
what
weren't
else
able
do you
to
have
do.
against Trump though? Because I don't understand.
Yeah, because you don't understand like what was actually happening. Let's see.
Yeah.
Why can't I find my lovely chart that I used to have? I wonder if it's on the other tab. Hold on. I was just giving you an example. You said specifically that somehow he, you know, is upholding all of his promises, and he's not. There we go.
I mean, he's trying to. I'm not.
He's
not
not even
perfect,
trying
right?
to. So here, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up for you. Let's be very clear. You did say that while Donald Trump was president, there was like nothing going on in Ukraine, right? Like it basically stopped.
Well, not completely, but
Oh, okay.
it
Are
was a
you
lot better when.
Oh, it was a lot
when he
better?
was president, yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Is that why when they were recording bomb strikes in the Donbas region of Ukraine that they saw the highest spike in January of 2018 after Donald Trump became president? A year after Donald Trump became president?
Yeah, but I mean I wouldn't say that that's like an actual war because
it's
it
not an
was
actual war. No,
it was a
they
military
were
operation.
It was a
wasn't,
military operation. Oh. So what you're
Yeah, it
telling me
wasn't
is that
an
we can
actual
just
war, to be honest.
brush off all of these instances of bombings that were recorded within the Donbas region of Ukraine.
I mean, the U.S. bombed Iran the other day. I mean, does it mean that it was a war?
Donald Trump called it a 12-day war, so that's not true.
Yeah, it wasn't an actual war. It was just
Donald Trump called it a 12-day war
between Israel and Iran.
that he caused and got directly involved in. He literally called it a 12-day war. But see how you're pivoting again? I want you to address the fact that under Donald Trump's presidency, the bombing between Ukraine and the Russian troops in the Donbas region increased under Donald Trump. Because if they didn't increase, why the hell did he send them javelins in 2019?
Right.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. So when
okay.
we're talking about this, it's very clear. And Thomas, I love how you guys are just so confidently wrong in the chat. Like, so confidently wrong, Thomas. Are you sure on that year, Thomas, in the chat? Because confidently wrong.
I mean, it's not that nothing bad happened under Trump, right? It's just that Trump at least tries to, complete his promises.
No, he's not trying. Again, what did he say when he was on the campaign trail? Did he say I can end the war within 24 hours of being in office? And then not only that, he also bumped it up a little bit. I'm not done. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry. A president should not joke about people fucking dying in other countries. That's deplorable. So you support somebody joking about death happening in other countries. That's gross. It's okay for him to joke because he's just a fucking jokester. When he's the one that literally said, I can end the war within 24 hours of being elected president. Being in office. And then not only that, he increased his own timeline and said, I can end the war within 24 hours of being president-elect, which means that the war should have ended on November 6, 2021, not November 5th, not January 20th, 2025. Sorry, I said the years wrong. November 6, 2024. My bad, guys.
I agree with you.
No, it's not. Hold his feet to the fire. And then what we also know is that in January of 2025, prior to him being inaugurated into office, he said he would just need 6 months. What? 6 months. January 6, 2025 would be July 6, 2025. We are now 2 full months past July, his 6-month deadline that he gave himself. Not only that, within that entire deadline, he rolled back sanctions against Russia, which, by the way, the sanctions weren't hurting us because we're not buying oil, haven't bought a single drop of oil from Russia since 2022, right? Because Thomas in the chat, just to be clear, Russia did their full invasion February 24, 2022. not 2021, not right after Biden became president, right? They didn't do it until then. Okay? And that's because that's about how long it took him to convince the president of Belarus in order for them to go up and through the northern front. There's a reason why it took him that long to
You're right.
negotiate. Yeah,
Okay.
no, you don't
I'll
know
say-
anything. You are literally regurgitating Russian propaganda. I understand that and you're definitely just parroting Trump's talking points because unfortunately we've already
I'm
confirmed
not.
that your
Look,
nose is brown from having
I
it so
didn't-
far
I
up
didn't
Donald
say
Trump's
that Trump
ass.
was perfect. I didn't say that he
You're good,
completed
bro. I'm done. That was just fucking stupid. All right. Yes, Giselle. That was Polly on the screen, guys, that came up and came in. Lukashenko. Thank you, Kelly. I couldn't remember his name for a moment. Let me get through these real quick. No worries, Thomas. Giselle, thank you for the floating heart. A floating heart again. This is where I was kind of joking at Thomas. Sorry, Thomas. I understand it was a mistype. February 24th, he meant 2022. He confirms that here. And yes, is this guy a plant? He's a moron. I honestly think he was ethnically Russian. You guys are so funny. Oh, Gordon, thank you so much for sending out 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that so much. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how old are you?
52.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, give me just 1 second, really quickly. Tommy, thank you so much for the 50. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for that.
Are you still there?
Oh, that. Sorry, I was reading another message, and I thought that was really pretty funny.
Oh.
That's a good point. I'm gonna leave this up here for a moment. Okay, Thomas, I'll try to get you. I'm gonna get through this call real quick, man. I'm gonna leave this up here for a second. So, what is your main reason for still supporting Trump?
Because I hate niggers. Why else? Nigger, 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 nigger.
I'm fucking white, bro. Disgusting human being. Absolute child. All right, Thomas, now would be your time to try to call in. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 34. I've actually called in before.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm going to try to get Thomas up here. I think this might be him. If it's not, call back in just a moment, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Ben. Hi, is this Thomas?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't vote, but I did.
What'd you want to
support
add,
him
man?
over Kamala. Over Kamala.
I mean, fine. I am not, like, really here to rehash, like, the results of the election or why somebody would support him over the election itself that was 10 months ago. Almost a year ago now. It's not really
And
worth...
I still feel like I would still support him. I know there's some, back and forth, but I would still support him right now.
Okay, regardless of the fact that he's trying to take 10 million people off of their health care, basically going to leave to starving kids in our country more than we already had. He lied about the no tax on tips. He lied about the no tax on overtime. He definitely lied multiple times about no taxes on Social Security. Oh, Tommy, thank you for becoming a member.
Just curious, like, you said the no tax on tips thing. Is that, like, how is he lying? I thought he just put something through that.
Yeah, it's a
was no
tax
on tips,
deduction. It's not a no
including, like,
tax.
internet streamers, right?
Yeah, no, I benefit from the tax deduction. Yeah. So do you see how like saying no tax on tips means that it wouldn't be taxed to start with, which at the beginning of that, just so everybody's aware, unless you're leaving an electronic like credit card additional tip, it's already not
It's the
taxed.
cash tips.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's already like not taxed, right?
Oh,
So
I
it's
didn't know that.
yeah, it's
Have
already
you?
not taxed. You might be required to report your tips, but people don't even report all their tips as it stands now.
No.
Um,
When I was a bartender or server, I never reported hardly reported cash tips, right? But you have
yeah.
to report your credit tips.
Yeah, you have to report your credit tips. And if you're saying that it doesn't apply to credit, then that's going to adversely affect people that are making tips because then that $25,000 deduction that they would get doesn't even apply to the tips that they received.
Yeah.
And then the no
The
tax
other
on
guy was talking about.
overtime. Well, I want to talk about no tax on overtime just really
Oh,
quickly.
you
I'll
do.
keep it
Okay.
brief.
Okay.
So people's overtime is still actively being taxed, and it's only a deduction of $12,500. That's literally the max. And so
But
like
like
it's
overtime as a server, what is? I mean, when
no
I was,
overtime
I
is
never
in
got paid like time and a half as if I worked more than 40 hours. I never got time and a half.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how it works for servers. I have never had to work in that industry myself. But just specifically when we're, again, like, I'm talking about overtime, so people that would make time and a half, right? It's still being taxed
Who
from
would
their
make time
paycheck.
and a half? That's on tips though.
I'm not
Like,
saying they would. This applies to, like, let's just say
but
manufacturing
like what type of
individuals.
job would it apply to?
Manufacturing, retail,
Manufacturing is gonna hit.
manufacturing sometimes pays overtime. A lot of companies don't like paying overtime. We can
But
give
they're not
one
getting
very
tips. I mean, they're not
specific.
getting tips though. That is retail, to be honest.
Right, I'm no longer talking about tips.
Oh, so that's what you want to talk about.
Overtime. Yeah, so like one very specific example is if people don't know this, Enterprise, when you work for Enterprise, as the people that rent you the cars, like physically rent you the cars,
Yeah.
that's their management trainee program, and they are required to work 49 hours a week. So they're going to beyond hit the $12,500 deduction that's allowed, and their overtime, so that 9 hours overtime is still being taxed, which is why I say that it's a false narrative to say no tax on these things because they're still actively being taxed.
I thought we were talking about no tax on tips, but this is
It's okay.
different. This is overtime.
Yeah, but what point did you want to bring up about the last caller? We can move on.
No. I mean, I just thought it was like, I don't know. I mean, I get your point on Ukraine. So, like, I wasn't arguing the point on Ukraine. I just thought he was, a little bit of a moron in how he, like, brought his argument.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's your position on it? I mean, obviously it's a tough situation.
My easiest position to state is that Ukraine decides when they're done fighting, and we support them until then, primarily because they're the ones that were invaded. Another nation, such as the United States or even any NATO country, doesn't get to determine when they're done protecting their sovereignty as a nation. We also don't get to tell them that they have to give up land.
Do other countries, I mean, not even U.S., but like European countries, do they have influence on Ukraine? And I do agree, like, Ukraine should keep fighting, but, like, I feel like European countries, even U.S., I mean, they should have some influence on the outcome. It does impact the global economy. It impacts people. Why shouldn't they have influence on it?
If you want to talk about the countries that have the biggest influences, we saw it when 7 heads of states signed a joint statement when Trump was talking about meeting with Putin the first time. And then all 8 leaders of the Nordic Baltic states also signed a joint statement saying that they are honoring Ukraine's sovereignty and their will and ability to fight, basically saying the same thing that I just said. Ukraine gets to decide what they give up in any kind of peace talks or negotiations, not any other individual, any other head of state.
I mean, Trump's negotiations so far have failed.
Beyond failed. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I mean, he's pretty much said like keep fighting, and
but he's also not
I don't
doing
think
anything.
There's no resolution right now.
He could economically hurt them further by imposing the sanctions he threatened, but then took back. He waffled. He tacoed. However you want to say it. He tacoed out.
But he didn't tell Ukraine to stop fighting. I mean, he said that they would have to keep fighting.
Yeah, but he also told them that they need to give up land.
So, like, the land is the issue?
Yeah, they get to decide when they're done. They get to decide if they give up land.
What happens if they run out of military fit people to fight the war?
I don't know, if I'm being honest. I don't have a solution for that. All I know is that, unfortunately, our Nordic Baltic countries and their leaders are already looking at trying to invoke Article 5 of NATO because, guess what? Russia keeps flying armed drones into their airspace. They literally, one went into, forgive me, people, I'm going to confuse. I don't remember if it was Lithuania or Latvia. One went into, and they crashed it in one of those two L countries, and it had a bomb, and it blew up right outside of one of their government facilities.
Let me ask you this. Here's a question for you. Would you support U.S. troops going in? I mean, I know there's like non-U.S. military, but U.S. people fighting, but would you support the U.S. military going into Ukraine?
It would not be ideal. I would agree with that. But so Article 5 of NATO, people have a common misconception. There is no guarantee that troops would be put on the ground from any of the NATO countries when Article 5 is enacted. The way that people can support, the way that the countries can support is very vague and open to interpretation. Even then, like when the only country that has ever enacted or asked for Article 5 to be enacted by NATO, which is the United States of America, not all of the countries sent troops. Plenty of them just sent armament.
I can't remember. Is Ukraine part of NATO or no?
No, they're a partner.
Oh, they're not. Oh.
They're not in the alliance, but they're a partner to the alliance.
Which is the whole Putin spiel, right? He doesn't want them a part of NATO.
Russia was also a partner to the alliance until they violated it by illegally annexing Crimea.
Yeah, well, they do violate quite a bit. So, so what would your solution be, or what would you think is like the best path forward to end the conflict and try and put Ukraine on a sovereignty path? Like, how do you think, or what would you think is the best scenario, or obviously maybe not the best outcome, but what do you think is the path forward?
Right now, the easiest thing is for all the countries to actually get together and just tell Russia that you need to get the fuck out of Ukraine. I don't understand why that's not even being said to them, why it's being skirted around, why it's not even a conversation that's being had. Just get out of Ukraine. You don't belong there. It's not your country. It's not necessarily that boots even have to be put on the ground, though. If they were, Poland's going to be the first one. They have the most military armament ready, and they are the most armed NATO country outside of the United States right now, is Poland. And Donald Trump is already talking about putting more military armament in Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia.
What did you think of that huge meeting 3 weeks ago where there was Zelensky and 8 of the other European leaders? I mean, I thought that was a pretty strong statement.
It wasn't, in
and
my
opinion. It seemed like Trump was kind of on the same page. I don't know, more so than usual.
Yeah, because he was being showered with praise, because unfortunately that's how you appease a child, is that you praise them.
But today, Trump came out and said, or I think he posted on X or whatever, Truth, something kind of about India, Russia, China. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, where he's crying because he's the one that put sanctions on India after claiming to be the reason why India reached a peace agreement or ceasefire deal with Pakistan, who's been their known rival for a long ass
years,
time.
for centuries.
Yeah, centuries, for a long ass time. And it's always been known, whether it's been loud or quietly, that you don't get involved with India and Pakistan. They don't want anyone else involved in their politics. So he beyond insulted India and their entire nation. They literally made an effigy of Trump and then burned it in the streets. They made an effigy of Trump and burned it in the streets because he kept trying to
I kind of read it
claim.
as Trump realized he had less influence on those countries, which, I mean, then I get back to like the Ukraine situation. It's like he says it's much harder than he thought it would be. I think maybe it's kind of like a point of realization that he doesn't, you know, have as much control as he thinks he does, which is a flaw as a leader. But I don't know how he closes Ukraine conflict out at this point. I mean, he kind of admitted to it today. He has no control over China, Russia, or India, some of the largest countries,
Or North
the
Korea.
largest competitors. North Korea hasn't been in the news that much lately, actually.
Yeah, they were. They just had Kim Jong Un joined President Xi
and Putin for
Xi
the military
Jinping
parade.
and Putin for their military parade. Yeah.
True.
Their parade celebrating when Japan surrendered.
But don't you think though, like that tweet today or whatever was kind of an admission that he realizes he doesn't have as much influence now on these nations that are going to be
Yeah, I can say that. I would agree with that.
ahead of U.S., direct competitors of U.S., already I mean, and it's like, well, then he's been pushing for peace in Ukraine, and I don't know how you solve that without giving up land or something. I mean, obviously Putin can't back away without something for what he's taken his country through. I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying to look through his lens.
No, the best way to actually show a strong face, giddy up, thanks Kelly, or a strong front would be following up on the threats that you make. Because Donald Trump has given Putin so many additional deadlines throughout his entire run of this presidency that at this point Russia just thinks he's a joke because it's always 2 weeks, and then it was 50 days, and then they met, and before they met he was very clear in saying that there will be severe consequences if we don't agree to a ceasefire before Putin leaves. And then during that conversation, after he had our military members get down on their knees and roll out the red carpet for Putin, which they didn't do for any of the leaders that came from NATO on Monday. And there were no consequences to no ceasefire deal coming out of the meeting. None at all. In fact, he gave Russia another 2 weeks. And then Russia bombed an American manufacturing facility within Ukraine. And all Trump had to said was like, I don't like it, but it's war.
But other than armed conflict directly with Russia in Ukraine, like what other levers does Trump have? I mean, we've sanctioned them. I mean, most of U.S. businesses have pulled out of Russia.
No, we rolled back our sanctions. We didn't even.
They're going to switch to Chinese currency, if not already. I mean,
that's what the BRICS nations already do. That was their agreement when they formed originally.
So then, like, what tools does Trump have other than like an armed conflict with U.S. soldiers to influence?
Actually stand by his own threats that he makes, because now his threats are just empty promises and empty words, and he's proved that. So until he actually does something that stands by the threats that he gave about I'm going to do sanctions if he doesn't do something in 2 weeks. If something's not done in 2 weeks, I'm going to do sanctions. If it's not at the end of these 50 days, I'm going to do sanctions. There will be severe consequences if there's nothing by the end of this meeting.
But
put sanctions on the countries that are still trading with Russia, kind of like what he did with India.
I mean, India, China.
India was already going to meet with China and Russia because of Donald Trump stepping on their hard line about don't get involved with them in Pakistan. That has always been their hard line. Do not get involved. Do not put yourself in between them and Pakistan unless they directly ask you. And instead, Trump is like, yeah, I called up Prime Minister Modi and was like, hey, if you want to do business with the United States of America, and I know you want to. Sorry, I can't do his voice. And the other voice would be annoying. It's a baby voice. We're gonna, you're not gonna be able to trade with us unless you end that war with Pakistan. And then he goes out on national television again and again and again and again and again and continues to claim that he ended the war and insulting not only Modi but their entire country.
The thing that Trump hasn't touched, India, is the services, consulting, IT services business. All those tariffs haven't touched. So I do agree with you on that. There's still more you could do on some of the partners, but I still wonder what Trump has left in his bag for Russia other than putting in U.S. troops. That's all. I mean, I'll let you go.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I wonder what else could he do?
Again, just the first step, put on the sanctions. Sanctions the other countries. Put sanctions on fucking North Korea. Put sanctions on China. Put sanctions on Brazil. Put sanctions on South Africa. People forget that that's the S in BRICS is South Africa.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye. Thanks, country. I appreciate that. See that? That's cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, stop giving Putin 2 weeks. The other guy that I disconnected with, you're welcome to call back. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? How old are you?
47.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you still support him?
Yes.
Why do you still support Trump?
I like what he's doing in Washington, D.C. with the troops there.
Have I talked to you before? Your voice sounds familiar.
I don't think so.
Why are you okay with our National Guard being embarrassing themselves with having pictures taken of them picking up trash?
Let's go.
Well, I think
should our active duty military members that are not paid to be janitors be picking up trash on the street in uniform?
Yeah, I think their presence is causing.
No, that's not what I asked.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think our active duty military armed service members in uniform should be embarrassing themselves by picking up trash on the street?
Yeah, the reason they're picking up trash is because the crime rate has dropped 80% and carjackings dropped 80%.
Why aren't we hiring janitors to go and do that, or street sweepers to go and do that? Why are we asking our National Guardsmen, who should be treated with dignity, from doing that in their uniform?
Yeah, I was in the military for 10 years, and what we did when we went overseas into certain countries, like Kosovo, things like that, I was actually in Kosovo. We did a lot of work like that in the community, and was showing a presence in the community, and it actually brought peace within the community for the most part. So we do a lot of humanitarian work in the military that's not necessarily picking up arms. It's actually sometimes just being in the community, being in the area actually will create sort of goodwill all the way around.
So are you aware that they actually had park services already employed for the areas? Why is it that Donald Trump fired the park services that were actually responsible for picking up that, or could have been asked to pick them up after, they got rid of all of the homeless population or the houseless population? And why are we having National Guard? Why did he fire them if that was the case?
There wouldn't be trash to pick up, but that's neither here or there. But
I like it. I find it interesting that any individual wants a police state in our country.
Yeah, so I think civil liberties and things like that, they have kind of imposed when you have troops on the ground, kind of your civil rights or rights in general are kind of imposed, so to speak. And so when COVID came around, do you think they did that during COVID? Do you think our rights were kind of invaded a little bit, slightly, maybe just a little, just maybe a 1%, a little bit?
No.
They told us people were fired because they didn't get a vaccine. That normally vaccines take 20 years to make, and this vaccine was done in like a year. And if you didn't get the vaccine, you were fired. You were fired. You lost your job.
I literally answered your question. No.
Okay. All right. So what was the death rate for?
Oh no, no. We're gonna stick on the
Yeah.
National Guard. You don't get to determine where this
Yeah,
is
what's
going. I had asked you a question that you failed to answer. Why
What
are
was the
you
question?
okay with the policed militarized state?
Because it's working.
Because
the
it's
murder
working.
rate- it's working to keep crime down. The crime in
Okay,
these
so
cities
you
is going
also
down.
believe Donald Trump when he said that there hasn't been a single murder since the National Guard has been in Washington, D.C., I assume?
No, I believe the liberal mayor of D.C. who said that carjackings are going down 80%.
Oh, okay. You also missed where she announced that there was
Democrat.
actual a murder that occurred in D.C. since the National Guard has been there, because they're not everywhere in D.C. They're only where there are going to be national monuments, where the tourist individuals go to, and only in the upper white districts. They're not in Ward 8, the one that actually was facing the highest level of crime. And it's very interesting that anyone even says this, because even then the mayor of D.C. and Washington, D.C. themselves are actively suing the Trump administration over the deployment of the National Guard. So I'm asking you again, since you say that you're former military, why do you think, since you say you're former military,
so
I
I'm
don't
not-
need you to interrupt me. It's cool. Let me just get
Yes,
out the
buddy.
sentence.
Sure.
Cool.
But you make it as if I'm not military.
Can you stop?
That's kind of a shame. That's a shame. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not letting you distract
Anyway,
me
so
with
you
that.
say-
Okay.
So you say you're a woman. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Dude, your impulse control. You're how old again? How old are you again?
47.
47.
To say that you say
Your
I'm a veteran,
lack
that's very-
of
that's very
impulse
offensive.
control.
That's very
Your lack of impulse control is laughable.
control.
You have a lack
You
of
just said
impulse
somebody
control.
Who had a brown nose. You just said somebody who had a brown nose was brown nosing Trump. You actually, that's kind of a racist statement. The man had a brown nose because his skin is brown, not because he's in Donald Trump's butt.
No, he had a brown nose because he was brown nosing him.
No, he said he was brown nose. He's a brown skinned
Okay.
person. You said he's brown nose because of that.
Well, I don't know if you realize this, but I only gave him two. Okay, hang up then. I only gave him two options. I said, is your nose brown, as in mean like shit being on it, or is it orange, as in like Cheeto dust? Yeah, it's literally figurative. Oh, Zen, did I hurt your little fifis? Aw, so sorry, not sorry. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
I can. How old are you?
I am 25.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Actually, I did.
Do you still support him?
Do I still support his full candidacy? I'll be honest, there are a lot of things that I don't
It's not
support.
about his candidacy anymore. He was sworn into office.
Well, I support some of the things that he campaigned for, but there's a lot of things that I've seen in the media that I really just don't stand by, but I did vote for him.
I'm not asking you to talk about why you voted for him. Why do you still support him?
Well, I think what I support the most is a pro-American agenda. Would you like me to expand on that a little more?
Yeah, and be more specific.
Sure. So I don't know how privy you are to like venture capitalists in like the defense sector, like Anduril Industries, but I do appreciate that we are taking a step toward the industrialization of American defense, especially like in the AI sector, cybersecurity. I think we're really lacking in that regard. And sorry if there's a lot of background noise. I'm about to go on break. But I think that in the grand scheme of things, America as a nation, as a sovereign nation, is really falling behind in our defense sector. and you have other countries forming coalitions like BRICS. My main concern is China, who are forming these coalitions to posture against the United States
Quick
that
question.
threaten our sovereignty. Yeah, sure.
Quick question. Is BRICS a defense agreement?
No, that's not what I'm implying. That's not what I'm implying.
Well, you
But,
were talking about military prowess, and then you brought up BRICS, and there's a common misunderstanding that BRICS is just an economic agreement, and it has nothing to do with defense. In fact, there's so many statements out there from Brazil where they clearly say, I'm not helping Russia in the shit that they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I mean, like, so, there's different types of approaches to warfare. For example, I mean, would you agree that China, for example, as a way to kind of give that statement credence, would you agree that China supplying the precursor compounds to cartels in Mexico is a form of warfare?
No.
Okay, so you don't agree with that premise.
Because if that's
I guess
the
we
case, you
fundamentally-
do realize that our own military armament has been used against us in multiple instances of war because we sold them to the wrong people, or we sold them to somebody that sold them to terrorist organizations. So if that's the case, I guess we're an enemy to ourselves and we attacked ourselves.
Honestly, I would, to some degree, have to agree with that. I do believe that there are rogue agents in the state.
It's not rogue agents. It's literally our government that is selling our military weapons to other countries and other bodies, other industries, that then either go to terrorist organizations or we accidentally gave it to people that then turn it around and attack ourselves. Like,
I would agree, and I
so
think that's
by that
fundamentally
same
inhumane.
thing, this includes Donald Trump because he also sold military equipment to other countries in his first term. I guess Donald Trump is an enemy of the state for selling weapons that were used against us. Good to know.
I honestly, if that were true, then I would agree with that premise. I would. I'm not so staunch in my beliefs. I mean, there's no other way to put it, but I'm not going to dick ride him just because, I voted for him. There are policies and practices that he supports and backs that, I, as a working class young American, I have 3 children. I'm thankful to be in a position where I can provide for my kids. My girl and I, we've been together for almost 10 years. And I think the biggest thing that he campaigned on that I was really interested in, I mean, the no tax on tips, the no tax on overtime, which I think a lot of people thought was misleading because, I think a lot of people were under the impression that you get more money back on the end of the check, but it really comes in the form of like a tax break. But that's just one thing. I used to be a server when I was in high school. I worked 2 jobs, so I know how tough the service industry is. I would, I think that those are good net positives for the working class. But again, I just want to iterate. Yes, I did vote for him. That doesn't mean like I'm just going to idly stand by and support everything that he does. I think that's just mindless, and I'm just not doing my due diligence as an American citizen. And it's incumbent upon each and every one of us to hold our leaders accountable. And, I think where we are as a state these days, it's reflective of the lack of due diligence on the average American. We let things just kind of culminate, and then when it reaches a boiling point, that's when we kind of come together. But I'm just speaking kind of tangentially now. Do you have any questions for me? I don't want to monopolize the conversation by any means.
Yeah, so it's been projected for a long time that China was going to at least match up with our military prowess come 2028. That's always how it's been. And no other, like every other country acknowledges that we're still the military superpower of the world. Like every other country has acknowledged that.
For now.
Yeah, but to say that somehow we've like done away with this shit, like, or rolled back is incorrect. We had
I wouldn't say that entirely. I think that Donald Trump, compared to the other candidates, took a stronger posture in positioning against these countries, trying to supersede the United States, whether that's economically, industrially, or even
And yet he's over
militarily.
here trying to be friends with everybody that would be trying to supersede the United States, and they're literally now getting like meeting together in public, not even behind his back, just openly in public, to come up with their own arrangements because they're literally laughing at Donald Trump. He has shown no strength on the international stage.
And in some instances, I would agree, but I think diplomacy at the end of the day is better than dropping a bomb on somebody. You know, I think it's nice to try and
Guys, you can't hear the caller because his volume is absolute trash. It's up. He's not down. It's up.
I can't say that confidently, but I mean, I think that, you know, China's Belt and Road Initiative, you know, they have no discretion when it comes to positioning themselves against the United States and acting out of self-interest. But it's my opinion. You know, I grew up, you know, like they in school taught about the perils and the hesitation towards capitalism and the push towards Marxism. We learned that in our AP history classes, and honestly, I didn't like that. So my point with that is that when America, it seems to me, it is my opinion, that when America acts out of self-interest, you know, everyone criticizes it. But it's okay for other countries to act on their own agenda and out of self-interest. But it is my position, and I strongly believe this, that if lights go out in America, lights will go out across the globe. And it's incumbent on us as a nation to remain number one superpower. And I think if Donald Trump at times didn't act like a fucking child, that he can show strength. He can show strength in adversity, and I do think that, compared to his former candidate in the last presidential election, he puts America in a better position to posture ourselves against our adversaries.
No, because now our adversaries are gathering together even closer than they ever have in history, including the fact that even though it had been talked about for a decade, they never actually did anything about it, but now they actually are signing an actual trade agreement between Japan, South Korea, and China, which have been enemies for fucking ever. Japan just pulled out of their trade meeting with Donald Trump because he was lying about what the deal was, trying to say that any profits the United States keeps 90% and Japan only gets 10 for sales there. Like, no, he's made us he's made us the laughing stock of the world, right?
And
like,
honestly, I would agree.
Right, so you can't even say that you're supporting him because he puts on a strong front. That's an absolute lie. Like,
and you know, and that's how I premise the conversation. Is I did vote for him, and there are things that he campaigned on that I did support, and there are things that he does do that I would like. You know what I mean? Like I'm not so staunch in my beliefs to just blindly adhere to everything he has to say and grovel at every word he says. But I just someone on the other side of the fence trying to give you some insight on why me as a young Hispanic American male voted for him.
Oh, thank you, Playtime with Pets, for becoming a paid subscriber on TikTok. Yeah, so you admit that he lied?
I do. I mean, I think it's fair to say that any politician lies to their voting base.
Yeah, which I don't think that's something that we should ever give politicians a pass for.
I agree. So, I mean, this is, I don't want to get anybody flagged here, but when do we get to use the guns?
When do we get to use the guns?
Yeah, when do we get to use the guns? We tar and feathered politicians for less hundreds of years ago. I mean, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, that's, I don't condone political violence. Giddy up.
Take care.
You too. Let me be very clear, guys. We don't do political violence. Political violence is not okay. We don't threaten any sitting politician at any level of government Yes, let me get to your comment real quick. 2006 to 2011, ATF sold guns to Mexican cartels to try and track and arrest them. What really happened was the Mexican drug cartels got armed by the ATF, and I'm assuming at that point, Bishop, we weren't able to track them. So the project itself was done away with by the Biden administration. Okay. Well, it looks like I definitely need to post a video tomorrow. YouTube just ain't doing it today. Thank you guys over on Twitch. You guys are doing awesome on Twitch. Sorry, I should have already muted TikTok. 1 second, Tiki-Talkie. Get up to 225,000 likes real quick, TikTok. I appreciate you. Y'all are doing awesome on Twitch. Where I'm already at 141 followers. I know that's not a lot, but for Twitch, just getting started, and Twitch is very slow going when you're not a gamer. I sincerely appreciate that. You guys have been awesome for the fact that we have had a low viewership today over on YouTube, and I super duper entirely appreciate you guys for being here on both streams. We're on 2 separate streams today. And by the way, guys, if you are on the side where you mostly agree with things that I'm saying and you are watching on YouTube, I would suggest that you watch on the horizontal stream, because the chat is usually nicer there, and there are no typical comments of straight up sexism from individuals. You guys are so interesting in the chat, that's for sure. Okay. All right, we're back and alive. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for everyone that's a returning viewer over on... Is that the case, Grim? Hey, Grim. You can say this, Grim, and yet... I'm still... Like, let me see. Where am I at right now? Because I've been told this since I got started. And yet, I'm still at almost 28,000. Isn't that interesting how that works? Very interesting how that works, but I'm not losing my subscribers. That's cool. I don't know for sure if I'll be on tomorrow, guys. So if you want to know for sure, make sure that you have the alerts on all of the places. Join the Discord. Okay. You need to tell them what team jersey that was so they can hate me more. Hi, guys. I am about to put this on for the Chargers. Is that what you want to know? This is for the Chargers. Yeah, see the bolts? Thank you, Kristen, for becoming a member over on the Tubi. But yeah, like, Grim, I've been told that I'm gonna lose all my followers since I got started 3 months ago, and I haven't, so have fun. You can keep saying that. You can be the first one. It's cool. We're shutting down over on Tubi. Thank you guys so much. And no problem, Kristen. Yeah, it's the